Good morning guys, and welcome to my kitchen for the first time. Today I do want to do a review of my new Samsung Gear Fit 2. However, before I get into that, I really do want to let y'all know about a few updates that have been going on in my life. Number one, I apologize that I haven't put up a new GoPro or drone video in quite some time. 1.5 months ago, my buddy Taylor and I went scuba diving at Jenny Springs in Florida. So there's a video coming out about that. I've just been taking my sweet time with editing that. It'll be out very soon. Now, I have been doing a whole bunch of stuff with a director friend of mine in Jacksonville. His name is Scott Lowrey, and I'm going to put a link to his channel right down here, so check it out in the description. So with Scott, I've been doing a whole lot of short films. We've done 2 already. One that has been released already, and I will put the link to that video down in the description. We have another one coming out pretty soon. He's just finishing up the editing pieces on that. Now, I have been trying to get into modeling and acting more and more. Both my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter links are down in the description below. Check those out. Aside from that, kind of tying into my whole fitness lifestyle, I have recently teamed up with Right Beast. They are an awesome apparel and supplement brand. You guys need to check them out. Their description will also be below. I also do tag their account in a lot of my Instagram posts on my fitness Instagram. Now the second announcement kind of tying into my whole fitness lifestyle is that I recently actually, excuse the text messages, is that I've become a brand ambassador for Muscle Maker Grill here in Tallahassee. There's a link below to their website. Really check them out. If you are in Tallahassee, I highly recommend going by and trying their stuff out. It's really amazing food, amazing flavor, and it's all good for you. They set up really great meal plans that fit your fitness goals, whatever it may be, and I'm super excited to be teamed up with them. Now, that's all the announcements I have, but now let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this video. My personal review of the Samsung Gear Fit 2. Here we go. Alright guys, so when I first got this on Monday, I believe, I was so excited to get this. It is a great looking fitness band. I have truly reviewed and researched every single thing they have out there, fitness bands, everything from Fitbit to Garmin, all those different brands, and I just could not decide on one, and then finally I came down to the Samsung Gear Fit 2. Now, the reason I chose the Samsung Gear Fit 2 for a few reasons. Number one, I do have a Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, and I absolutely love this phone, and so I wanted to get a Fitbit type wearable that would work with my phone and not have any hassle of using third-party apps. Now, with that being said, let's get into what I like, don't like, and what I would like to have changed about this. I'm not going to get too deep into the specs because there are so many review videos out there already that have all that covered. So starting off, the display is absolutely awesome. It's super clear, super bright. You can adjust the brightness level. It's very colorful. I was able to figure out how to use the entire thing in about an hour, but it's also very detailed. So you go down here and you're able to see all these notifications from texts, from missed calls, record your sleep record to actually show if the Gear Fit 2 is not sure of how long you actually slept while you were wearing it. It asks you just to really clear it up. But as you can see, with the watch face, it's very easy to be able to switch them up from all the different options they have. I personally really like this one because it's just clear, big numbers, straight jumps out at you. Now from your phone, you are able to change the colors of the background. Down here you can see the pedometer of how many steps. I just woke up this morning, so I've only had about 34. Moving to the right, you can set all this up to be customized to what you would like. Looking at the calories, you come in here, it gives you a full description of what's going on and what it's recorded for the day. So just this morning, me walking around from about 10:18 to 10:39, it's been able to calculate how many calories I've burned in the day. Now down here, you can see the past few days of how many calories I burned each day. And yesterday I actually did really well, 2,864 calories. Now, I've found these to be relatively accurate. I'm just now getting into really counting calories and measuring food. So for me, this Galaxy 2 Fit's been very helpful. Moving right, here's where you can track each activity. One of the things I'm going to mention more later in detail is that I would like there to be some more options on here, but I'll get into that more. So you have yoga, Pilates, rowing machine, all this stuff. So when you go to work out to the actual gym, I do more actual lifting than I do cardio. But down here for other workout, that's all I can really do for lifting weights. And unfortunately during this time, it turns the heart rate monitor off, and that's not very helpful. Now, I've already mentioned the good parts. The display is absolutely awesome, and I love the clarity and be able to adjust the brightness level. I love the reactivity. It works just like a smartphone, you know. It's not lagging at all when you're touching the screen and moving it around. It's just very clear overall, and I apologize. I'm trying to keep as much glare off of the screen as possible. You have 4 gigabytes of memory to save music on here, which is great. And so then before you go for your run, you can set it to either play music from the gear or you can play music from your phone. Something that somebody asked me before is why not just get the actual Samsung Gear 2, the actual smartwatch? And I said, well, number one, the prices are much different. And being a college kid, I really can't go throwing $250, $300 around and not be sure about it. Another thing that I really love about the Gear Fit 2 is that it was only $175 before tax. And so far, based on how much I've used it and really enjoyed it, I think that's a very fair price point. The last thing that I will highlight about this I really enjoyed is that it's got its own GPS, meaning that I don't have to bring my big old clunky phone with me on every single run that I go on in order to route my run. Coming down here, I'm going to show you guys where I've done cycling, for example. You come down here, you can see your average heart rate going up and down. A lot of people have complained about the fact that it seems that these are way too smooth lines and not raggedy enough to show the real changes. But for me, just now getting into measuring my heart rate all the time and measuring how much food I eat, it's really not a big deal. It shows you your max heart rate, your vigorous intensity zone, and also shows the map, which I think that is just beautiful. You can see that. You can even share from to Facebook right from the Gear 2 Fit. Moving forward to really only the two things that I've not been happy with, those are the heart rate and the distance. Now, what I mean by that is with the heart rate, sometimes while you're working out, it just does not record your heart rate properly. I was on the elliptical the other day, and my hands were on the heart rate monitors. The elliptical machine was telling me that my heart rate was about at 125 beats per minute, and this was telling me that my heart rate was only at 86, which makes no sense. I've heard there have been a lot of other people that have also had this issue. Otherwise, it's not a big deal. Most of the time it is very accurate, and usually the heart rate is one of the things that doesn't mess up the most. The next thing that I wanted to talk about really was the distance. Yesterday I was going for a run around the intramural fields here at Florida State, and the inside fence of one of the intramural fields, I know for a fact to be half a mile because I've measured it before with my phone. Now, I was running this lap before a buddy came to throw the football, and no joke, as I was finishing the lap, I looked down to see where my workout was at and where the log was at. It was at 0.46 miles, almost at its half mile. And it's this one right here. No joke, as I put my hand down to keep swinging my arm to keep running, it jumped down to 0.16 mile. And I do not know why that happened. It went from 0.46 to 0.16 and it only logged as 26 calories, which I know wasn't enough as to where it was. The BPMs were correct. The timing, 4 minutes 31 seconds, was correct. It was everything actually really well except for the distance. And you can even see on the map that it's a pretty big square that I ran with all these streets around it, and yet it still logged it as 0.16 miles. So that's one bug that I would really love to see fixed. Like I said, I'm going to keep this very short and move on to what I'd like to see done in future versions of this smart fitness tracker. Welcome back to the Kitchen Counter, guys. The last things I want to mention are two things that I really would love to see in future versions or future updates. A lot of people ask me why I didn't get, the Garmin if I really were going to spend that kind of money for a fitness tracker. Now, this fitness band was only $175. A lot of those Garmin's, the really nice ones, are like $300, and some of those couldn't even store music. Some just were really blocking the display and slow reactivity to moving side to side. And I, being a techie kind of guy, really wanted something that was half smartwatch, half fitness tracker. And this really, for the past week, guys, I've truly found nothing that I was upset about with it until the past few days. I loved it the first day I had it. I loved it the first 4 or 5 days that I had running and working out and all that kind of stuff. I did take a few notes on what I'd love to see changed. Number one, you go to the gym and you work out, or for anyone that maybe does cross training or play in sports, I really wish there was a way that just like running or just like on the elliptical, every few minutes that it would track your heart rate. Right now, it turns the heart rate monitor off, which I don't understand whatsoever. I just think if every 2 to 3 minutes, it would record your heart rate to really more accurately display your calories burned. I think that'd be very helpful and a super simple fix. Number two, in future versions, I would love to see a full waterproof capability. The Samsung Edge is waterproof, very much like all the other Samsung phones recently. Obviously, you don't want to go underwater real deep with it or go swimming with it or anything. You don't want to risk that. But it is very much so waterproof. And I've been swimming a lot recently for cardio, and I would really love to be able to take this with me. One of the things I liked about the Garmin was that you could actually wear it while swimming, so just a few changes there. As I've only had it for a week, I've tested it out on multiple runs, I've tested it out multiple times in the gym. And the last thing I will say that I do really want to highlight, a lot of other review videos talk about how this clasp back here has not been very good at actually holding it onto your wrist which I've found to be false. I have had this for a week, and I am a very active person. I ride my bike every day to class. I always go for runs and work out every single day, so on and so forth. There's only been one time that this little clasp has come out of its spot, and as while my buddy and I were throwing the football yesterday. It was truly because of the force of the football. One time when I was going to catch it, the force of the football hit the strap and just popped this part out. Even right now I'm kind of struggling. Just like that. But it still stayed on my wrist. So to all the videos that have said, oh, the first day I had it, it was popping off and everything, maybe I would suggest either don't tighten it so much. I don't know. I can tell you all that I've got big wrists. I have the large version, not the small version, and I've had no trouble with it falling off. In the weight room, I've even put on my backpack every single day and my left arm in second, and usually I have to brush against the strap to push my arm through. And I've had no problem with this thing falling off. But otherwise, guys, that's it. I really love this watch. I wear it every single day. I would give it, if this was Rotten Tomatoes, I'd give it a 90% right now, which is a very good rating on Rotten Tomatoes. But that 10% missing is just those few things I would love to see fixed and changed up. And just a reminder, I will have 2 videos coming out soon. One, which is the video of my buddy Taylor and I scuba diving a few months ago. Another one that's going to be a drone video that I filmed last week with my buddy Richie over out and around the FSU football stadium, which Doak Campbell Stadium actually recently being reviewed as one of the top 5, I believe, beautiful college stadiums in the U.S. That'll be an exciting video to have come out, just as a sneak peek to what this football season should be expecting. So thank you guys again for coming and watching this morning. It is Sunday morning. I need to go make breakfast, and I need to go to church and give me some Jesus. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see y'all next week. Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this video thus far. As you can now see, it's not the same time anymore, and I'm no longer at my kitchen counter. However, I am working on editing this very video at the moment. I did have to give an update. That's also why I have yet to post this. I need to give an update to all you guys that'll probably help a bunch of you. If any of y'all are carrying your Samsung phone that you are currently Bluetooth connected to with your Samsung Gear 2 Fit, don't expect it to work very well. You're either biking or running. I have found in the past few days that when I've gone for a run and I have my phone nearby, because the Gear 2 Fit is connected to my phone, the actual Gear watch hopes that my phone is going to take care of all that stuff. Something you gotta do, come to your home screen, go to your settings, scroll all the way down, and hopefully this is clear, and you'll be able to find all these options. Connections. Come all the way down. Location. Make sure location is on, because right now, most of the time, it's going to be off. Make sure and check it to make sure that it is on at all times. With that being said, you might be sitting there getting ready to start your run or start your cycling or whatever it is outside to start your walk, and you're like, okay, well, I've already got my location settings on the actual run part or on the actual cycling part or on the actual walking part. We've got to go deep into the settings of the actual wearable to make sure that location is on. Not only that, you've got to make sure that your phone is not in range. I do believe there is on that settings option something called debugging, which allows your gear to take over everything even if your phone is nearby. However, what I make sure I do before any run, before I go biking, sorry, Chief is trying to be in the video. I always make sure that either my phone's Bluetooth is off so it's not connected to the gear, and so that the gear will actually record the route, record the time, and record my heart rate all by itself. That's the only thing I had to update as far as I know. Guys, I have loved my Gear 2 Fit. It looks great whether I'm at work as a financial advisor, whether I'm at the gym, or whether I'm on my run. Just throughout my whole day, it is the best watch. It gives me all my text notifications, call notifications, got a great display, and I really can't complain about it too much. All that stuff being said, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. There's going to be a lot more activity on my YouTube channel coming up soon, guys, with both workout videos, reviews, hopefully some more GoPro videos of this guy as well, including drone videos. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If you've got a Samsung phone and you don't want the craziest thing out there, but you do want something that's a mix between a smartwatch and a fitness tracker that has GPS, has music, I will use my Beats headphones with this. I have yet to have any trouble otherwise. Other than that, being able to figure out why my GPS wasn't tracking and why the heart rate monitor wasn't going during those few runs. And once I figured out it was in the settings in this, as well as making sure the Bluetooth wasn't connected to my Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge at the same time, this watch has been flawless for me. Truthfully, I think those are the only 2 fixes I've got. If you have any comments or suggestions, comment down below. I look forward to talking to you guys, and have a blessed night. Thanks, y'all.